the juice of today's episode is probably going to be about the Nintendo Direct that was today.
Yes.
Hyped.
Yes.
Literally walked into the office, had no idea what the hell you were talking about. When I literally walked in, this man said,
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually something we have to mention before that, though. As we go into Tears of the Kingdom, I thought I interpreted it first as tears, like Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I was just thinking when you said that, I was like, that doesn't really make sense in context. I feel like that, like contextually, it makes more sense.
Okay.
Tears. Yeah.
Yeah. It's understandable, yeah. It sounds better also, Tears of the Kingdom. Sounds nicer. But when I first read it, I was like, Tears of the Kingdom. Like, what's going down here? But Tears kind of makes sense.
Yeah. It does definitely give off a more somber vibe than Breath of the Wild. So I'm expecting a darker story that makes me feel things.
We 100% are gonna get confused because we tried like all throughout work. We always refer to it as Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Instead of we have a name for it now. It's been like 5 years and it's weird to finally have a name for the sequel.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the original came out in like what, 2017?
Yeah, 2017, I believe. Yeah. Yes, 2017, or is it 2016?
No, I think it was 2017.
Okay.
I think it was delayed until 2017.
It's always been Breath of the Wild 2, but now it's Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom. TOTK. I just think of OTK, the streamer group.
Yeah, OTK.
TOTK. It's not bad. I mean, Breath of the Wild's BOTW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing sounds better than OOT though.
Yeah,
OOT just woo.
Yeah. Woo.
Or T-Lop.
It was T-Lop.
Wait, I fucked it up. I meant Link to the Past. OTTP. I completely messed that up. But yeah, when I walked in,
you're once you're pairing.
When I walked in though, yeah, you said immediately, no context, just said Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And first I was like, did I hear this, man? And then you said it again, like Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, what the fuck's that supposed to mean? Like when you said it, I thought like
you thought I was just saying a riddle to you or something.
Yeah, this man, the Riddler walked into
Tears of the Kingdom
office.
Fall only once or some shit.
Yeah. And the second time you said it, first thing that came to mind was like, that sounds like a fire album. Like who released an album called Tears of the Kingdom?
That sounds like an old metal album or something. Like hardcore. Yeah.
You could see that, or a rap album.
Yeah.
That's all I thought in my mind. But then that was like
did you hear
piece of news.
Did you hear Kendrick just released Tears of the Kingdom?
Tears of the Kingdom. Hey man, I would listen to an album called that.
Yeah.
And then what else was Direct? Well, the Direct had Pikmin 4, which
it started off with Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah,
Engage.
Fire Emblem Engage. I remember that name.
The Colgate, the Colgate protagonist.
The Colgate protagonist.
Was it Colgate or was Crest? Yes, the Crest protagonist. In the subreddit, they were calling her Crest-chan because apparently there was a leak. There was a leak a couple of days ago, I think, of that there was going to be a new Fire Emblem game.
Oh, really? I didn't know anything about that.
People weren't really sure what it was, but I think the character design for the main character was leaked a couple of days ago, which I didn't know anything about, so I was happy that I didn't know anything about it. But it's looking pretty good. I think there's been a sentiment of like, I feel a little disappointed that we're going back to the dragon, the royal and the dragon
characters from the previous games.
Yeah. I was more into what Three Houses was bringing to the table, but I'm here open-minded. I love tactical RPGs. Give me another one. Give me anime.
Okay. Are we
tactical RPGs?
Are we gonna ignore the fact that this is called Fire Emblem Engage and the key mechanic is putting a ring on your finger? Like they just know what they're doing now. They know everyone goes there.
Yeah.
For the romance options. So now they just said, screw it. We're Fire Emblem Engage, put a ring on it, and play the game. Enjoy. I think that's what's happening. Because I was really always thinking about, I was like, okay. Like, it looks like, the rings hold the spirits of previous heroes is most likely what it actually is. I see what
And
you're
then were you
doing.
bringing them as
Nintendo.
summons or something? That's what was insinuated, right, or some kind of thing.
Yeah, the summons of Link, or not Link,
Yes.
Marth.
Marth.
Dude, I'm
Wrong
out of it,
series.
man.
You got Zelda on the mind right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was right off the bat.
Yeah, to start off with that.
Yeah, and then what did we go into? We got into I think there was it's just we're farming. That was like
that was
a
it.
large part of the middle of the conference is just, we're farming.
We are not exaggerating. There were
there was genuinely like 4 farm games.
Mhm.
I know one of them which people were excited for, which I know specifically someone we follow, Sid Snap, was excited for. What's it called? Season or because I always think Harvest Moon.
Something of Seasons.
Yeah, Story of Seasons.
Story of Seasons?
Yeah,
which
Story
is
of
actually
Seasons, A Wonderful Life, which is a remake of Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life that came out on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's like one of the ones that people like the most. So, a remake of that is makes people very excited.
There was that. There was Harvestea.
Harvestea, which
Rune
is
Factory.
the sequent the
Square Enix
one, which actually has me pretty excited.
Mm-hmm. There's that. There was Rune Factory
3 Special.
Rune Factory 3 Special, and an announcement that the next one is in development.
Well, no, they said specifically a new series.
Oh, a new series.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said. Is a new series, which is weird. I don't know if it's Rune Factory. I think would be 6 or something different. I don't know.
Yeah, and then there was an Xseed game, another Xseed game that I am blanking on that was also farming.
Yeah,
we literally had something of Fae, Farms of Fae or something.
Yeah. No, I think it was a different company. I don't think it was.
There was the Farms of Fae also though, and then there was the Xseed farming game. We had five farming games in one announcement.
Hey man, people like to farm. Okay,
it's farming season, I guess.
It's farming season. We had Battle Royale season, now we're farming.
Yeah, we're farming.
We're
it's
farming
not much.
all summer long. 2023, the year of the farm.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
We're going back to our roots.
Mm-hmm.
I am, for one, am here for it. Let's go. Let's farm.
Yeah, there was a lot of those. I was surprised. Yeah. I thought 2, 3, and then they just kept bringing them out. I'm like, okay,
let's go. Let's farm.
There's one for pretty much each aesthetic.
Yeah.
I feel like one each,
like super,
each one.
You can get like a slider of how anime to like.
Harvestea is on the far right.
Like anime to like cartoon, and like the Fae farming is like the cartoon style.
Yeah, it's a slider of how far you want to go in.
But yeah, we like our farms, and then
there's Octopath.
All the old Mario parties are coming out. That was like the classics. Mario Party 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, because 4 is when they start coming out on GameCube.
Yeah, so 1, 2, and 3 are out on the expansion pack for online
Switch, along with a gem of GoldenEye.
And
GoldenEye 007.
It's apparently going to have online features, which I think might work out because the online features are going to be for this like 20-something-year-old game, and Nintendo's online architecture is also about 25 years old, so it might work out. Yeah, it might actually work out good.
Honestly, you won't be able to tell about the lag. You'll just think it's the game.
You'll just think it's authenticity. It's authenticity, you know? They're simulating the internet of like the 25K modems from back in the day, yeah.
Damn. Yeah, no, GoldenEye, that one's... all I ever think of when I think of GoldenEye is... That's Streets 112, right? Streets 112, you know that? The guy who's giving the motivational speech on his speedrun?
Oh, I think I do know it. Yes, I think that you're bringing back memories, yeah. Where he's winning. He knows he's gonna win.
No, he actually it's him watching his recording of it. He's like, 2 quick ones. I know I'm already getting there on the perfect line.
I totally remember now. You just brought up a memory.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The people, the reason it's more famous is because then people put I think it's Interstellar music or Inception music on it. One of those two. And it's just very dramatic. And it's interesting. It's hype to watch to me. It's funny, but it's interesting.
Oh man. I do remember that. No, I did.
Yep.
Wow, that's an old memory. That's a funny one.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. Look up Streets 112, and it's peak.
Oh yeah, it's because it's Streets is the level and 112 was his time. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a speedrun thing, and he never got like the goal was to get a 113, and then he just completely skipped 113 and just got a 112, and it was just he was just talking like over. He was dubbing over basically his run through of it.
He's commentating,
yeah, he's commentating,
giving creators commentary. They're just giving us the play-by-play.
The play-by-play. Yeah, easily was. It's a really great video to watch with the Interstellar music or Inception music. I need to figure out which one it is.
Moving on. Something I thought was interesting is that they're actually putting all of the newer Resident Evils, but it's the cloud. Yeah, which is like okay, interesting.
They really want you on that service.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how well it does. I mean, cloud is that like? Would that be like Stadia? Like cloud? Like they have it on a server and they're streaming it to you, or like how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. And does that mean you require an internet connection to play it, right?
I would assume so.
Huh.
Because anything regarding the internet and Nintendo doesn't have.
That's the thing I'm curious about is because they don't have the greatest internet services. So running a game like Final Fantasy or not, Resident Evil Village, on their shoddy internet seems iffy.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a good time. Hey, to each their own. To each their own.
You want to play Resident Evil Village on your Switch? You can only do it at home. Yeah. It seems counterintuitive. I feel like the best part of the Switch is it being transportable. But if the cloud games are only available when you have a Wi-Fi connection, that seems very off to me.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Then there's also Octopath Traveler 2.
Octopath Traveler 2.
I've never played Octopath Traveler, but I know you have.
Yeah, I would hope that they make the characters a little more interesting this time around. Or more deep, I guess. It's because there's a lot of characters. So it's hard to go deep on all of them,
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a tough one because with Triangle Strategy, like there's a lot of characters, but you have like a core cast, a clear 5-6 characters.
And we know who the most important ones are. We know that not every member of the team is going to be the most important.
We know who's got plot armor.
Yeah,
and we know,
exactly.
The ones who have to fill up the slots on the map.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But I still love the art style. It's not as unique as it was before, but as the first time that game came out, but it's still pretty cool. It gives it very much like a diorama, you're like playing with like little models or something. I feel like it's interesting.
Highly recommend Triangle Strategy to people who haven't played it. Although we're talking about Octopath Traveler, it's just because Triangle Strategy is like in a very similar style.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was made by the same teams, but it's both Square Enix, right?
They're both Square Enix, but are they the same actual developer?
I'm not sure. What else did we have?
Bayo 3.
Bayo 3. That's something that a lot of people like. I honestly haven't played any of the Bayonetta.
Never played a Bayo, but yeah.
Because one of them was on Wii U, right?
I think so. Was there's never one on GameCube, correct? It was after GameCube?
One was like on PS3?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of consoles I never had until like much later. But yeah, Bayo 3. People are excited about it. And it has been a long time since the last one, so that's kind of one of the reasons why. But a game that had a bigger gap. Actually, I don't think that's true anymore because I'm thinking of, I forgot the third one existed. But Pikmin 4 is coming out, and that's what I'm hyped about.
Yes, I knew it. The second I saw it, I knew you were going to be hyped about that.
Yeah, Pikmin has a place in the heart.
Yeah.
it's also pretty messed up, like as a kid, because if you ever played Pikmin 1 or 2, it's always like a day and night cycle, and you have to get to your ship by a certain time. And if you leave any of your little soldiers, little Pikmin, behind, then it's always a cutscene of you flying off, and then the Pikmins that you left behind like running to the ship, but they're not making it, and then they get eaten by the enemies. And it's always so messed up, but it is heartbreaking. But I love that game.
It does sound heartbreaking. I still haven't played one. I have some of them, but I still haven't played them.
Which ones do you have?
I have 2.
Oh, you have 2?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I might have to actually ask you to borrow that one, because I've never been 2.
Yeah,
it was too difficult for me as a kid.
Now you know.
And then they also promoted their mobile.
The mobile
game, the mobile game to grow
I've
flowers.
I've never even heard anybody playing. Apparently, it's been out for a while. Apparently,
yeah, it's been out for a while. I knew it existed, and yeah, I think it's probably by Niantic, also the one who does the Pokemon company. But the concept is, instead of like battling and stuff, you're just growing flowers in this AR world. And, maybe you'll get some people outside. Maybe you'll get 2 people outside, and then it's done its job.
Yeah, it's not gonna be Pokemon Go, but it's something. Yeah,
it's something for the Pikmin fans.
Yeah, they're stars, so they need something.
Yeah, rise up.
Yeah. That what else do we have? There was a new SpongeBob game.
Oh yeah,
SpongeBob. We always appreciate it.
Yeah, we always
appreciate it. So that's nostalgia.
Yep. As long as they have, as long as they have like one throwback line from the show, I'd be happy.
Yeah, they reference one scene. I'm good. That's what I'm here for. You reference something from the first 3 seasons. We're good.
Yeah, the Alaskan bullworm.
Hell yeah.
Meaty claws. Or oh brother, this guy stinks.
All very good. All very good.
Yeah, if I get one of those, I'd be satisfied. And then I spent like this weekend basically binging Berserk, or I fully read it over the last. Binge reading.
You said something that I haven't even comprehended. But you said that your fingers were hurting from how much you were reading. I was like, at first I thought you were had the book in a strange position. That you had like your arms in some kind of like you were hanging off the bed or something. Like you were just like. I was like, how do you tire your fingers from reading a book? But you were like, no, like online, that you're just like scrolling. You have scroll finger.
That makes sense, because I've been posting like when I borrowed my brother's physical books. And so, you thought I was reading, like, hurt my when I said I hurt my finger, you thought it was somehow me flipping the pages.
Yeah, like you're repeatedly giving yourself paper cuts or something. Yeah. Like, I don't know what's going on.
But, I was holding onto my mouse and literally scrolling down, like, for hours.
Is that how you scroll?
Yeah.
You full finger scroll? I, like, just use the tip of my finger.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes if it's a full page and you just scroll. What do you mean?
I just do. Oh, I can't show you because the.
Yeah, because it's cable.
Yeah, let's see if I can move my camera.
Dude's fucking up his layout. Okay. I can't see it.
Oh god, I can't like. This is bad.
But yeah, no, I was swapping between middle finger and then index finger. Dude, you are not.
I broke it.
But yeah, then I was swapping to the ring finger sometimes, but mainly it's middle finger.
That's funny. I go only ring finger, basically. Like, I can't do that. That's stupid. Please cut that out.
But yeah, so
yeah,
I read it all basically, because I read up to, I was reading the big books, and up to before this weekend I was in the middle of the Golden Age arc, which is like the flashback, and then I bought my brother book 4, which I believe is just about to go to the Eclipse arc, which is like the point that most people know of Berserk is the Eclipse arc, because where a lot of the messed up shit happens. And so I was like, I'm not gonna just stop right before this. So I had to go to my local websites that of course legally have Berserk on there, but
right, of course,
and binge read like 300 chapters. And I will say,
Jesus Christ,
I thought we would be further. I'll be honest, it's a phenomenal work, and I thought when I first got into the series, I thought he would be. I'm gonna spoil some things. I thought a God Hand would be dead by now, and I know you're not gonna really know anything when I say God Hand because it's series it's pivotal
spoilers
story
to whoever actually wants to read them.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This series has been up since 1989. I was shocked to realize like how long that series has gone, and reading the last few chapters, they released a half chapter. The friend who is continuing the work of Mira had a half chapter where he explained like their relationship. They were friends since high school and like constantly bounced ideas. Yeah. And he talked about like how deep their relationship was, and I was just tearing up reading this because that connection between the two of them, and how different he expected futures to be. But the Berserk itself was just really good. Like there's some interesting fantasy aspects, and like eventually they start adding in more. Like I'd say right now, or after Fantasia, they add a lot of like Norse stuff. Like they added Jotuns and a world tree. This is all like Thor stuff.
Right.
All this Norse. But there's some pivotal points that I didn't realize until after talking to my brother, because he was the one who is big into Berserk.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, there's a lot of things I didn't pick up on that. If you talk to someone about a series and she's like, oh, that makes me feel differently on this scene, or oh, I missed that. But I'm glad they changed one character. They basically like redid his character just between an arc, because it's this guy named Puck, or it's a elf named Puck. And
it's from Shakespeare, right?
Oh, is that?
Yeah, this is a fairy named Puck in Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, I did not know. I always know Midsummer's Night Dream because that's the name of one of the Persona movies. But I always knew it's also a Shakespeare work, but I don't know anything about the Shakespeare work itself.
Yeah, well, there's a character named Puck.
Oh, so that's probably where it's from. And
a fairy specifically named Puck.
Okay, so I always forget if he's a fairy or if he's an elf. But he's in the first arc, and then in one of the later arcs, he's basically like kind of a moral compass, and because Guts is always, the more messed up in how he handles things, violent and everything, Puck's always just like saying he's wrong. And then they basically scrap that like after 2-3 volumes, and he just becomes a comedic relief, and is like Chestnut Puck is, I think, what they refer to him now, because he also got like a visual overhaul too. They basically just completely overhauled his lore like midway through it. But he's
new character now.
He just became a comedic relief, but it's probably better that way, because I don't see how either dynamic. I think that dynamic would have gone stale very fast. I will say I got tired of that the original dynamic pretty early on, and then also I feel like it fits more with how fairies are in terms of like nature in mythology, where they're a bit more whimsical, a bit more lighthearted, mischievous. So I'm fine with it. I'll say he's a fairy. I believe he's a fairy now that I've been talking about it. Berserk fans, don't attack me.
Speaking of Norse stuff, we forgot that there's also the State of Play today. It wasn't just the Nintendo Direct. Which, did we talk about the end? Did we talk about Tears of the... Before we go to State
That was
of
the first thing we talked about, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about Tears of...
I think, actually, we only talked about the name. We didn't actually talk about any of it. Really,
Tears of the Kingdom, I think, good name. Till May, okay, whatever.
We got a date.
Yeah, we got a date at least.
This is my first one in years. I'm happy about it.
Yeah. And then islands look cool. Like the whole world's like broken up. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool. How much? That brings up the question. Like, how much is in the sky? How much of the original mainland is together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we gonna get dungeons, like actual
Honestly,
dungeons?
I think it's gonna be very cool to go back to that world and see like how much has changed. I
Mhm.
like stuff like that where it's like you're going back to the same world, but it's different. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of different things. It's interesting, very interesting.
So
Yeah,
May 12th, I believe it was. I want
May
to say
12th. Yeah, I think
hmm
2023.
2023.
2023 is big year. My wallet gone.
Yeah, we said it's been a good year for gaming, like midway through this one, and it's just
uh,
continued on. 2023 is looking
yeah,
strong.
strong for gaming.
hmm Oh,
Strong for gaming.
but yeah, you mentioned State of Play, and at the
I
end of
mentioned
this
Norse
year,
stuff because it was
God of
God
War
of
Ragnarok
War. Yeah, God of War Ragnarok, which we got a more in-depth trailer this time around.
comes out
Yeah.
late this year. One of the few games that are coming out this year from these announcement conferences. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
You still need to play God of War.
I still need
You
to play
do.
the first one. I still need to play
It's good.
the originals. Yeah, I haven't played any God of War. So
I'll be honest. Without I haven't played the originals. I understood most of the story.
just
Or I
like by
understood
playing
all the story, but I didn't understand some of the reasons the MC or Kratos is the way he is. And for that, I had to look up some stuff, some external sites, because I wasn't playing a trilogy to know why this man's so angry.
I still need to play, regardless.
Was there any other
we
games?
saw a lot of stuff that we kind of knew already about in the State of Play. It was a lot shorter than the direct.
Yeah.
The other new thing was Tekken 8, which
Tekken
did
8,
look pretty cool.
Yeah, they opened with that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They opened with Tekken 8.
Tekken 8. They had this really cool, like, I don't know if it was indie or like really cool atmospheric like driving game, but it's like you're in a post-apocalyptic world and you're like trying to get away from
yeah,
like some kind of monster or something like that. It was interesting. It looked cool.
And then there was the hair game. The hair game, Project Eve, I think it is.
Yeah,
that's the only reason that's the only way I'll refer to it, because that was like the first trailer they announced of it is like every like costume design that she has is basically made from her hair, and her weapons are her hair. I think
very Bayonetta-esque, yeah.
Very Bayo-esque, yeah.
Yeah. Then there was the game by Team Ninja, who did like Ninja Gaiden and Neo, which was this like Rise of the Ronin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked pretty cool. At least very atmospheric, very, very cool. Another Ninja game was Ninja. Yeah, kind of. Well, no, that like time period was the Yakuza game, but it's like old fashioned Yakuza. Yeah. That one looked pretty cool. I've never really played that much Yakuza. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I played 0 or Yakuza 0. I'm trying to remember because I remember Kiwami, but I think that's Kiwami's 1. I forget exactly, but yeah, Yakuza. As soon as I saw the character design, I was like, oh, this is made by the same company. You could tell for like the moment you saw them, and the way I'll be honest, the way they talk, they clearly like have a way they like to showcase their characters, and it was just checking all the marks. I was like, oh yeah, this is a game by that company.
Yeah. So we got that. Did we get anything else like big?
I think that was it for.
Yeah, it was pretty small.
Yeah, State of Plays was pretty minor from what I'm thinking.
Yeah. There was some PSVR stuff, some Star Wars stuff, I think.
Oh yeah, PSVR.
PSVR 2. I don't know if we even have. Do we have like a release date for PSVR 2?
No, or not that I know of. At least.
Yeah. So, not as exciting as the direct in my opinion, but directs are always pretty big. Like or unless it's like otherwise stated as like, oh, there's just like an indie showcase or something. Usually, if it's like a main direct, you know, you're gonna get some pretty good stuff. So
yeah, they always do good because they clearly distinguish between normal directs and the indie direct showcases.
Yeah. Or the indie, or it's like we're focusing on this one game series the whole time. They did the Pokemon one, I think, one time.
Oh yeah. I think they might have been like one of the strongest allures to the old directs, where when people didn't know what characters were going to be in Smash. Like people
Yeah.
would literally decide on whether a direct was good or not based off of the Smash character that got announced.
Yeah, true.
It was how it used to be
100%.
years ago.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. During like the Ultimate era or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, 100%.
It's like when Incineroar was announced,
Yeah.
people were like, "What the fuck is this?"
So it's the and one last thing.
Yeah.
That was the meme. Yeah, that's good stuff. The Nintendo Directs are cool. I love Nintendo Directs. They're just like a bunch of people, like and then you go and find all the YouTubers you follow, like reacting to it, like a couple hours after after it goes out. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, that it was a solid day of showcasing though.
Yeah,
mostly, carried a bit by Nintendo and the farming games that people are about.
The farming games,
carrying
us on our backs.
Yeah.
Farming game fans are eating good today, and so are Pikmin fans.
Yeah,
eating good today.
Well, Pikmin you also pluck out of the ground, so in the end you can call it a farming game too.
True, exactly.
Mm-hmm. What started? Was it Stardew Valley that like really brought the?
I think 100%.
The whole
that's what brought it back. Like it was pretty popular at some point. It was like a cult classic little genre that like there was
the Harvest Moons.
A pretty tight group of fans that really loved it. And then you got what was the game you said?
Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, Rune Factories, like all those games were
all that. And then you have Stardew Valley. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, Stardew Valley.
Blanked for a second. But and then you get Stardew Valley in there and it just makes it explode. Just everybody's fucking farming all the time. I don't remember, when did that game come out? That was like 2014 or something.
Oh yeah, I would say. I want to say 17. I might be very off. I want to say 17.
I remember playing that in college. Yeah, it's 2016.
Oh, okay.
2016. Yeah, because I remember playing a lot of that in college.
I never owned it.
A lot of Stardew Valley. I loved it. Loved that game. Yeah. But I'm okay with that. I love farming games, so
the art reminded me of Terraria a lot. Like not
Stardew Valley?
Yeah, Stardew Valley.
Yeah, it definitely has more of the vibe of like old like Harvest Moon than it did like something like Rune Factory, which was a lot more anime. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And then Harvest Day is now bridging the gap between the anime.
They're like taking Fire Emblem and mixing it with Harvest Moon.
Basically, they just took the designs on like Fire Emblem, the anime, and then Stardew Valley already had where you can date and marry people, I think, in the game. So it's just they just like, hey, we know these weebs want to romance characters, so we'll just add it to the farming sim, and then
genius. Well, we'll throw in some sword fighting in there. Let's go. This is what we do best. We do RPG stuff. We do that the best. We already know we got that in the bag.
Something that's funny is that people said that they need to take away a certain font from Square Enix because you know how the Octopath Traveler it's just a black screen with white font and it underlined. They did that with various Day Life and Triangle Strategy, where it's just all of them look so like simple. Yeah. That people are like, they just need to take away this font from Square Enix. Just
choose a new font, please. Choose a new font. That's UI UX design. I don't know what to tell you. Right?
I'm excited though.
There's someone at that company that just really loves that font. They're like, nah, we gotta use the same font. That's all me, baby.
Yeah, because I think they're made by the same company, but you could distinguish them a little bit more. But a lot of good games. I think there's it's funny because we've been talking about how many farming games are coming out right now, but we're getting a good variety of games in the future. More rounded, not just all focused on action games or not all focused on battle royales. We're getting all the farms out in one.
Honestly, I've been happy because we've been getting a pretty steady amount of RPGs, which makes me happy. Even though I know I'm not going to play fucking any of them because they take too long. But I love it. I love it anyways.
Also, I just remembered something that actually is important. I've talked to you about the Square Enix game, or Platinum Games, Babylon's Fall. They were the ones that had one concurrent player on Mother's Day.
Maybe. Yes. I think I
Yes.
do remember. Yeah.
It will terminate its service on February 27th, 2023.
Was that like some kind of was it supposed to be a
It
MOBA
was
or
a online dungeon crawler.
MMO? Oh,
It was a dungeon
online
crawler,
dungeon crawler.
whereas like you just constantly go up stages was the plan of it,
Yeah,
but
that sucks.
Mhm. Yeah,
Didn't work out. Yeah. So is the game just not working anymore, or is it like you can still play like by
you can still
yourself?
play. You can still play it now, but I don't know what happens after February 27th. If it's like,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure the game is solely online, so I don't
It's
know
online
what
only.
the
Oh,
single player experience is, if there is any.
yeah. Mm.
But yeah,
That's why I don't like online only games. Like,
that's
it's like
why.
it's like you bought it and now it's fucking dead. No more game anymore. Sorry.
Hey man, I can't say anything bad about online only games because I'm back in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm back in it. I'm excited. It's fun. I'm although I'm pivoting classes from a paladin to a healer
Mm.
because we already have a heal or a tank and 2 DPSs. So I got the fill slot.
That's what you get for leaving and then coming back.
Yep. I'm flex. I'm flex position.
There you go.
It's like League all over again. I'll flex.
Yeah. That's how it is.
Mhm.
That's how it is sometimes. All right. Well, I think that's perfect amount of time to call it here. Episode. What episode are we at? Like 60,
We are on episode 67.
67 of the Virtually Lost podcast. It was great having you. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you next week.